We're at the Almwana Mall. This guy's cruising by here, having a good time with their little skateboard routine. I am here to suggest that there's 10 relevant things to this idea of you have to have a specific genitals, you have to have a specific PP, VV, body, and whatever it is. And to want to introduce some science to the equation as opposed to just opinions and things relating to ego. And so, for example, number one, we have the ego of people talking about it openly when it's actually a personal matter. People talking about their sex lives or what have you. And even in pop cultural references of, say, breast size or genital size, whether men or women, and the reality being that everyone is unique. People like variety. For example, most men would say, "Oh, I like different types of VVs." I think conversely, most women would say, they like many types of PPs, and the same goes for other elements like breast size and just different dimensions of bodies, figures, and qualities that people have physically. And so, number two is, instead of thinking that, I don't like this person because they're misusing or abusing their body for their agenda, what you can do instead is you can say that, I want the best for this person. I would like them to, enjoy their body and whatever they have, their maybe money or whatever it is. And instead of there being a fear associated or confusion, I'm bringing the unknown to the known arena. And obviously, like I'm suggesting, this isn't something that's to be talked about casually. It's to be addressed formally and in a scientific manner. And so, number three is the idea of what is the ideal size, VV or PP. And I don't even like the term average, I like the term medium size, because it's not really a subjective term. So the idea of medium, I think it's suitable for people because several reasons. One is it's preferable for the PP. It's preferable for oral for it to be not too big. And then you have other things like anal intercourse, being virile and being able to keep it erect and have extended periods, extended intercourse, extensive. And if that's your goal, if your goal is throughout your whole life, even when you're older, to be able to get erections, and then you don't want to have I think medium is ideal. And of course it's to the individual's preference, but what are we actually talking about? We're talking about medium PP and VV, and the correlation being that when it's fully inserted, it gets it affects the woman's VV, and she has the G spot and A spot, and so I have an article. I'm going to attach a link below, a nice article a woman wrote about the A spot, and basically that's the deal. That's the science of it. It's like, it's not just a man wants a tight VV or a woman wants a bigger VV. That's actually not an accurate assessment of what people want. And more importantly, number four is, in consideration of the variety of life and things being relative, what else? Well, there's also this idea of the dream mate, which I present, and it suggests that you don't want to, that being intimate with someone, if they're not your dream mate, is it's a waste of your energy, and it's not truth. It's a deviation, because you're giving your energy and passion to someone who will not reinvest that energy into mutually shared dreams that you have. And that's the whole point of actually feeling love. I'm not talking about a feeling of an orgasm. By the way, that's number 5, the idea of the second chakra. You want to activate that by yourself. You know, that both men and women use sex toys, men masturbate, and you learn to, you're able to control yourself and activate that chakra, that second chakra, independently of other people. Because if you're hoping that other people will be involved, what ends up happening is you know, you can subject yourself to others and make them have, you know, give them power over you, have levels of control over you, which you don't want. That's the whole point of truly feeling like you are you. And how can you make it a sound judgment decision? Well, you can introduce scientific positions and perspectives, like I'm talking about. You can, number 6, you can, the idea of sexual compatibility and whatnot, this is something that you can discuss over in email, so that way it's clear. There's no hoping that, oh, this person's this or this person's this. You want to make sure that you're can meet each other's expectations, and that you know would enjoy giving oral pleasure to the person. You know, both men and women, so you can exchange pictures via the internet, you know, via either web camera or email, and that way there's clarity. And the follow-up commentary might be, oh, you know, I don't think my body's attractive enough, which is fine to say. You know, you don't want to be with someone you don't have a mutual attraction with, because then you're asking them to fake something. That's not fair, right? And it's another thing if, say, you're already married and, you know, one person gets, you know, handicapped in some way, and the other person wants to push them along. That's having to do with existential matters, though, as far as, you know, like, do you want your spouse, your wife, to outlive you? Me personally, I feel like it's more humane to, at a certain point in life, just do some out-of-body experiences and work, and then say, you know, exit the body, humanely kill or stop the wife's body, so that she's not living alone without you. That's a side tangent, but I think it's relevant. And it's more pressing than the matter of even sexual compatibility. And also worth considering is that love is actually more powerful than sexual desire. My examples being the love and respect of yourself. If you actively are doing that and in pursuit, and you have willpower and you have intention and you have your confidence of, you know, this is who I am. I'm married to my dreams. That's why I wear a ring, for example. I'm married to my dreams. I'm not going to give my love to anyone in particular. The additional concept of that marriage is physical intimacy. It's not some random and singular event of a wedding ceremony. And so this idea of marriage, it should be complemented with the idea of strength in who you are as an individual. And like I was expressing, your commitment to yourself and your dreams. And when you enter that space, you know, you're free. You're free of other people having control over your life, or even your own desires influencing your life. That's not what you want. You want to have You want to activate all your own chakras, and then you want to truly be able to make unadulterated, authentic, decisions that have no unusual, ulterior motive. Basically, it's like this. It's like, all right, so let's say you're interested in someone, and by the way, the prerequisite to that is actually that you know who you are, and you're established, and you really think that you're ready and prepared to be with a person. That happens if you want to have a marriage and children, then you have sufficient, obviously, emotional and financial stability in order to achieve that result. And so let's just say all that's taken care of. You in your career, you're in your thing, you know who you are, you know where you want to live, because these are all things that you're going to have to discuss in order to compare yourself with another human being to see if you'll match up. And people think that, I'm ready, and they're 18. I think it's between the ages of 25 and 30 when one really refines oneself. And that's of course the benefit of being like studying to be a doctor or whatever it is. It puts you in this framework of a mature framework of, I want to define myself instead of subjecting myself to desires and to casual and informal non-committal relationships, which are only going to lead to you feeling like you don't trust yourself and you don't respect yourself and your ability to be self-determining and control your life. So the basic philosophy here is that there's a variety of people out there and want good for people. Be that overarching unity consciousness energy that says that, I want good for all people, and everyone deserves a dream mate. They'll have to work at it, but they deserve it. And they deserve more than casual relationships which are not worthy of envy. It's also about freedom, right? People have the freedom to do what they will, but you have to guard yourself and avoid undesirable places and people, places, things. Ask questions. That's the scientific method, right? You're inquiring and you're asking, well, what type of person do I want? I'm guessing you want somebody has compatibility with you, and somebody who, the interesting thing is, you might think that, it's the number one thing is the physical body, but like I was saying, it's more than that. It's culture, people, and that's the idea of love being stronger than lust. You can control yourself with love. You can control, I love this person, I don't want to seduce them or let them seduce me. And that's the irony, that you actually, like a prostitute, you don't love them, and so you'd pay them, and you don't respect them, but you'd have intercourse with them, and you wouldn't have engage in sexual activity with somebody you actually respected. So that's the paradox to be conscious of. And you basically have a scenario where it's time to upgrade. It's time to sharpen yourself and make yourself who you are, and that is all that is. That is the all that is. That is not worried about, my body's not attractive. Yeah, I can't be in a relationship. Yeah, how about next lifetime? How about investing in other people's children's and just improving humanity so that in the next lifetime, guess what? You're 100 years later, whatever it is, you get a relationship. Sometimes suicide, or like I was saying, humane euthanasia, but it's not. It just it's stuff to think about. The Japanese do this. They do something where they commit suicide after a spouse passed away. But I think it's better that the wife And then you might say how to go about it. Well, quickly and humanely. Obviously, it first there has to be the precedent of, you know, we know that we're not our bodies. So then what are we, and how should we operate? And if you believe that, then you're going to act in a certain way, and you know, make considerations for everything I've described, although maybe unorthodox and possibly controversial. Thanks for considering.